On Friday was the first day, and a couple of my friends opened up. We had chocolate sushi, followed by Michael Bricker, and I feel like they really brought some like hip hop house tunes, and I didn't hate it. You know how I feel about hip hop. I think they did a really good job, kind of incorporate the two genres, and I'm a hard sell to say the least. That was followed by Walker and Royce and Chris Lorenzo, but to be honest, I was super confused because it was only Gavin. So there's two people in Walker and Royce, and I guess Gavin's the one that's been he's the shorter guy that's been kind of more on the touring end of things, because I think um the other DJ has a young son, so he's the one that's going out a little bit more. But he kind of looks like Chris Lorenzo because they're both tall. I'm just like, wow, he really grew out his hair. I was super confused, and I asked my friend Chocolate Sushi. I was like, "Yo, where's Chris Lorenzo?" He's like, "He's right there." They really killed it. Like I love their music. Um, they just had some dirty ass tunes. It was a great night. They had everyone dancing. My friends run the Midway. Um, the staff there was very, 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 very on top of making sure everyone was, staying in their areas, wearing their masks if they were heading to the restrooms. They had more restrooms open, so like there was plenty of space for people to do their thing and to do it safely. So I was really happy to see that they were sticking to the regulations so that we could continue this moving forward. So the next day, I actually wasn't supposed to go. I actually went to Hotel Via, which is kind of by the San Francisco Ballpark. I think it's Oracle Park now, with Jack London. He did a DJ set, and my friend Lenny, DJ Black and White, he likes to bring the 80s hits up in there. And I think he had everyone just like on their feet and dancing. It's a little bit of a different like experience because it's a smaller venue. So you have to purchase like the ticket, which you can either have a cabana. There's six tops and there's four tops. You all have your own section. You have to buy a bottle too. So it was a little bit more pricey, but it's a lot more intimate. And it's kind of cool. Like you're forced to buy alcohol. We had a big bottle of Sky vodka. It was the cheapest one. But we were like, oh my God, we cannot finish this. We finished the whole thing. The cool thing is like all the staff there again, like was came to each of the tables and make sure people weren't walking around, so everyone stayed in their section. There was no intermingling. So I feel like San Francisco is really making sure that people are staying safe and following regulations. So I ended up at Midway yet again, and this time it was just Gavin. So I'm assuming that Chris Lorenzo, who was playing brunch, may have had too many mimosas. I'm not sure, but it was only Gavin, and he killed it. I'm not sure of like Chocolate Sushi and Michael Bricker open. I'm assuming they did. Oh no, I'm lying out of my teeth. Okay, it's Cosmalia. I could be saying it wrong, and I'm sorry. She's like this really up and coming, kind of like dark. I want to say she's more techno sounding artist that's really just coming up in the ranks, and that's Cosmalia. And I'm sorry if I say wrong. I say most things wrong. And on Sunday was the last day. It was Justin Martin. I was a little nervous because he be getting a little crazy. He also dabbles in the house of hip hop house, and that scares me a little bit. But I want to say like he just came in with some melodic house and then some other stuff I can't even actually put in a category, but he just put on a beautiful set. He ended with like that one really, I think it's called This Is My Heart. I could be lying, but I think people were crying and it was raining. It was one of two people that brought an umbrella. It was very touching. The opener for him was Miss Dre. I've never heard of her before, but I would honestly recommend her as an artist. I don't know if she's Dirty Bird, but she's doing some big things. I think overall, San Francisco is trying its best to make sure that people are staying safe, providing these different events, to make sure people, like, honestly, like the people I roll with really love music. And I don't know, like, it's been hard for everyone when we don't have anything to do, obviously, but I think they're really staying on top of everything that needs to be done for San Francisco to stay safe and to have like beautiful music experiences. So I'd highly recommend it.
Hey, Precious, I got a question.
Yes.
So, I mean, this is the first time we had like a legit event. How was it with people social distancing? Were they like really being observant, like to keep it staying away? Or was people just were they having their own little party circle area and pushing out? Or was it just people still acting like everything's okay?
They stayed in their areas, like absolutely. And then plus those bouncers were up in your face if there was more than 4 people, because you can only have 4 people. So how it works is they actually have a table. It's a dining experience. You have to like you're having food and you're having drinks. So you have a like a decent sized square, a table and 4 chairs for midway. And so they have bouncers all up and down. It's like an L shape. So the stage is in the middle. So bouncers come over and just like, hey, there's more than 4. They need to go. If you are not at your table, you absolutely had your mouse. There's no exceptions to the rule. Um, so I feel like both Hotel Via was a little better because it was much smaller. So like we had more space per table because like at Midway, there's a lot more tables per capita. So I mean, overall, I think they did a good job, and they also had staff being like, "Yo, get your butt back to your table," or "Yo, too many people, go to your table." So I think they did a good job.
That's good. But what about the bottle service? How much did that cost you?
Well, it was 250 divided by like 6 people. It's not too bad. And then between me and you, I went with the DJ, so we didn't have to pay for the table, but a table's anywhere between 130 and like 170. So if you wanted a cabana, obviously it's more, and you split that between however many people. Like I saw people in the cabana that only had 4 people. Obviously they have some extra money to spend because yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Oh, that doesn't sound bad at all. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Whatever the table is plus 1 bottle. And
Yeah.
then you had to, yeah, so that one was expensive, but if you're someone that just likes the smaller venues, more intimate, it's a good
Hmm.
way to go.
Yeah. And people can't go anywhere anyway, so they've been able to save up all this COVID money. So
Yeah,
I can see why they would splurge.
I would love my own cabana.
Yeah. All right. So thank you so much, Precious, for recapping that and going out there and having a great time. So Olu, do you want to tell us about the Relentless Beats event that you went to this weekend?
Hey, Wara, don't forget our
Olu, check your mic. Olu, check your mic. We got somebody saying that you don't got no sound. Make sure the RB's coming through on both sides.
Okay, mic check 1 2. Can you hear me now? You
I
guys can
can
hear
hear
me, but I'm
you,
sure.
but the audience.
Okay, my sound should be good. So thank you for checking me. So Relentless Beats brought back their wildly popular pod concert series, and they did it in the form of Love Makers and Heartbreakers. So with Heartbreakers, it was more of a bass lineup with Sullivan King, Kaiwachi, Ghastly, and OK. For Love Makers, it was more of a house techno lineup. So we had Shiba San, Don Bresky, Sasha Robati, and Jay Wara. I went all 3 days and I had so much freaking fun. So I think by now, Relentless Beats really has it down. Like there were no, like I had no complaints. I know last year when they first started doing these events, a complaint was that there was not enough water. So people weren't allowed to bring water. You had to like buy water at the event. And Relentless Beats did provide water. Like they would provide water and chips. But when you're dancing all night long, sometimes like those 3 little bottles of water don't really go as far. So it was good that Relentless Beats allowed people to bring in like actual cases of water. Like you could just bring them in, security would let you in, and I think that really helped with just making sure everybody was hydrated, and not kind of like passing out due to whatever. But and of course there was also food you could order, so you could they had like concession concessions, and they would bring the food to you. You'd order the food through like an app, and they would bring it to you. So if you needed like alcohol, like White Claws, or just like hot dogs, chips, nachos, like they had you covered. So I had a lot of fun for the first day. I'm a really big fan of Sullivan King, so it was good to see him again because he actually headlined one of the first pod concerts that they did last year. And for Love Makers, I actually went in there kind of thinking, okay, I'm just going to take photographs, just focus on getting good content. And I think actually that might have been my favorite day out of the whole 3 days. Like I always think of myself as a bass head. Like I like the, dubstep and heavy sounds. But I'll tell you, like on that day three with Shiba San and Dombresky, I was dancing all night. That show actually started earlier than the other shows. It started like around 5 p.m. So unfortunately I couldn't make it to the beginning of that show. But for the time I was there, like I just like everybody was dancing all night, so it was just good to be part of that, and I got some good content at the end. So I'll go ahead and pull up those photos I grabbed, and if you guys have any questions specifically, I'd love to answer them about the event.
Yeah, how big were the waters that they gave?
There were 16-ounce. The waters that they gave were the like mini. I can grab one real quick. So give me a second.
You have one?
They have the 8-ounce bottles, like the
Oh,
little
like it's the little ones, right?
Yeah, the little bar ones.
Okay, I'm back. So these were the waters. These mini bottles, the 8-ounce.
Yeah, 3 of those, really?
Yeah, three or four of those. So, I mean, for me, it was fine. Like, I kind of think of myself, I don't really need to drink a lot of water during the event. So,
Hold on. Oh,
I
that's
knew
not 16 ounces.
no, it was. So, what I was saying is that people could bring in 16 ounces. So, if you had like a 16-ounce pack,
Okay.
you could bring that in. Like, I promise I'm not lying to you. And that's what most people did because you're right. Like, this might, 3 of these small guys might not be enough to like keep you hydrated the whole night. But if you're bringing water, your own water, then it doesn't matter. Like I will tell you
Okay.
that I didn't actually touch these because I actually like to drink my water very cold and chilled. I'm very picky about water. So when you get there, obviously these are not cold, they're not chilled. So I don't really touch these anyway. Like I don't drink water the whole event. But then again, like I've always been like that kind of person to where at music festivals, like I've done whole EDCs without drinking water, like whole nights of
Oh,
EDCs.
that's-
That
So
doesn't sound smart at all.
I like
no,
smart
I'm fine. The problem I have is that I fall asleep. I get tired. So I might do a Red Bull just to stay awake. But actual water, that I've just always been like that. But most people need, when you're dancing, you need to stay hydrated. So it's good that,
Yeah.
it's good that you
Oh
can
my
bring your
gosh.
own water. And it's good that Relentless Beats gives you these waters too. I drink them at home. I take them home and I stick them in my freezer. And then like, this bottle's empty. Like I already drank it. But I don't really, when I'm at these events, I'm more about like just capturing those moments of people just having fun. And like you can see it on the screen now. So these are some of the photos I got to took. Like lots of people just, vibing out with the flow toys. Or I saw a lot of people shuffling at Love Makers during Shiba San and Dombresky. So I just love to see all of that and be part of all of that energy. But it was a
Can-
fun event.
Can you give a little bit of backstory? I just saw one of the pictures on stage and people were doing push-ups. Were those the DJs?
That was, yeah. So that was kind of like an impromptu kind of thing. We had one of those doing the push-ups was Sullivan King, and the guy that's playing is actually Kaiwachi. And then the other third person, I want to say it was. I don't know if it was Trivecta, but it was one of the DJs that were playing that night. So they all just got up on stage. So they basically did like a kind of triple back to back. Like in some of those pictures, like all 3 of them are up on the DJ decks playing. Like I guess at the end of Sullivan's King stage, they decided to do like a kind of like collaborative set, which was so awesome. And then like Sullivan King runs down with one of the other DJs, and it was just like who can do the most push-ups. So I guess they were that pumped. I mean, that's what dubstep will do, right? That's what bass music will do. It'll keep you pumped. Like, so yeah, that's kind of the story behind that. Like towards the end of Sullivan King's set, Kaiwachi and one of the other DJs, they all decided to come back on stage and just kind of like do a collaborative set. And then Sullivan King challenged one of the DJs to like a push-up challenge. And I was like, I have to capture this moment. Like, this is like crazy. So I was so glad I got it because it was like 10 seconds. Like, that's all that moment was. It was just 10 seconds. And I was able to like get it. So, yeah.
How many push-ups did they do?
They did at least 10. I don't know how many they did. I do know that whole moment like was like 10 seconds. So if we're just assuming they did one push up every second, then it's 10 push ups. 10 push ups in
Holy
10
cow.
seconds. Yeah. So it wasn't that, yeah. They weren't up there doing, because I mean, they were DJ. That was Sullivan King's set, so he can't be up there all night doing push-ups. I'm just sure, as much as he'd like to, like that was literally his set. So it was like a quick thing, just like a spur of the moment, and I like that. I like that, they were able. Maybe they didn't plan the. I guess maybe they didn't plan to do that. It was just like an impromptu thing.
Oh, that's cool.
They should
Yeah, really
plan
cool.
like a favorite gym session where they
Yeah.
break into different workouts.
That's actually a really good idea. I know on Groove Cruise they have there's this couple and they're really big into fitness and they have pressure camp. And it's basically that you exercise to EDM and it's pretty cool. So
No, that's not cool.
I think it's not. Have you done it? I've never
No,
done it.
that's why it's not cool. I'm
But
sleeping.
if I'm on a boat, I'm not working out.
I
I'm
worked
at the
out like twice.
eating everything.
The gyms are actually really nice on the boat. So I've actually gone to the gym a couple times.
But like nothing because it's quiet.
I get my cardio on the dance floor, and I earn my carbs back at the buffet.
I used to go running at Coachella. That was kind of like invigorating.
What's wrong with you?
Running.
I was being real fit that time. I haven't been doing it since.
Honestly, the simple act of going to music festivals, I don't know about you, but every time I go to one of these like multi-day music festivals, I always lose weight. So I lost weight after EDC Vegas. I lost weight after Coachella.
Everyone.
I've
That's
lost
literally
weight, Yeah, so
Yeah,
Wait.
there's no time to eat and you're not drinking any water. You're gonna lose weight.
Of course, yeah, you're gonna lose all your water weight. Was this EDC during June when it was like 100 degrees at night?
hell yeah, it was, which was one of my favorite
everybody,
EDCs.
everybody lost weight then.
It was
Hold on
great.
though. One time, back to fitness. I want to talk about this because this was a sheer moment. I got up to do yoga because I wanted to like hang out with this one dude, right? And I'm in the middle of the sun in the dirt at Jubilee, and then this woman made us hug and look at each other like real
Ooh.
What?
close, and you're sweating, and I got kind of hung over, and I'm like, I don't know how I got through this. I don't think I'd ever do that again, like ever. Like
That sounds
it
awful.
was a little too intense for me. to
Yeah,
think
don't touch me in the desert.
it was.
Yeah, that sounds awful. Absolutely awful.
Well,
All right,
Electric Forest is a desert.
Close enough.
All right. So, does anybody have any other questions about Fresh Start or any of the Relentless Beats events before we move on to the other news?
Because Monique needs to know about the food. She can't go with the food options.
There's no food options. Yeah, and I've heard that the food options haven't been so great at these pods events.
You didn't ask me about food events.
Yeah, Precious, how was the food at Fresh Start?
Precious doesn't eat. She doesn't eat.
I do eat at Midway.
Okay. What did you
eat at Midway? You didn't ask me. I had the veggie tostadas, and I have a little bone to pick with the Midway, by the way. So I'm vegetarian. I'm not a vegan. I'm not super vegetarian. I just don't eat meat. But I couldn't order French fries unless I ordered a steak sandwich, and I have a real problem with that. If I want some French fries, I want some French fries, or like, give me like a bomb ass vegetarian sandwich. But I was pretty mad, so I had to get a.
That's been a thing
the
at a
second
lot
day I
of
was
drive-ins and pod shows where you can't customize anything. It's just like whatever they have on the menu, you have to pay for it and deal with it.
Well, I talked to management about the French fry issue. I was like, excuse me, I'm a vegetarian. I should be able to get French fries and I want to get French fries without having to order a steak sandwich. Just saying, tell everyone. But those tostadas, like veggie tostadas, are really good. So they change the menu up pretty often. And I do eat there because they are my family. Like my friends all work there, so I just want to support them. So yes, I do eat food there.
Okay, so that's why we didn't ask before, because I know when you go to events, if it's not nachos, it's not anything. So
Nachos is life, okay?
yeah. All right. So I know Olu, you talked a little bit about the food. So I mean, I don't know. It's sad that a vegetarian had to order a steak sandwich or was forced to, but it actually sounds pretty good for a carnivore like myself.
A carnivore. Yes, I didn't order food this time around, but I remember one of the first pod events, I did order like this big thing of like nachos, and it was so good. I mean, it's like nachos with the cheese and chili on top. So you guys know how that is. Like, I don't need to tell you, like, I mean, you can't go wrong with the nachos with the cheese. So it was really good.
Danielle got them.
I just didn't have time to order food because I was too busy trying to, click, click, get the photos. But
Hmm.
um, I mean, I can wholly recommend, their food or alcohol if you just want. I mean, that's why I saw most people doing just with white claws in hand, dancing,
Hmm.
being merry and jolly, and just having a great time. So that's what it's about.
Yeah, I think that's my
Yeah.
favorite part about pod shows, where they bring you your alcohol. You don't have to go wait in line.
Yeah.
Yes, remember waiting in line at EDC Vegas? That's probably why I don't drink much because like you're spending
I
like an
waited in line
hour
for 2 hours at Sunsoaked and still got no beer because they were ran
Oh,
out by the time I got
and you're missing your favorite sets. Like that
I'd be fucking
sucks.
flipping tables if that was me. I'd be like,
there. I still thought that I was like about to like blow up on these people, and he's like, "Here, just take this, just take it,
just
walk
take it from
away."
me. Yeah, that was me with fries.
oh my goodness. All right. So, are there any other questions about any of the events that happened over the weekend before we move on to other news?
How's the music? Like, was the music just as good as I hope it will be when I go back to it a bit?
More importantly, how loud was it?
Yeah.
As a photographer, I had to actually use my earbuds. So I have a pair of Eargasm earbuds, which I love, which help me protect my ears because I want to like have my ears working when I'm like 95 or 100. And basically, if I have to use my earbuds, that means the music is on point. So for the Love Makers and Heartbreakers events, we've never had issues with music at the pod concerts. Like Relentless Beats is really make good in making sure that the production is tight and that bass, like basically when you're parking in the venue, you can like the bass rattles your windows a little bit. So that kind of puts it in perspective in terms of sound. So definitely no complaints here with Relentless Beats and their shows. What about you, Precious? Like, how was the sound at your event?
It's
That
pretty
fresh
good.
start.
So they have like speakers at the stage, and then they have speakers like every couple of sections. So they have like they have VIP in the front, which is like probably 7 to 10 rows, and then the rest is GA. But they have speakers every like 5 to 6 rows on either side going down, and then on the other side, same thing. On the right side is a lot smaller. It's kind of like L-shaped, but there's speakers every few rows. So yeah, the sound was pretty good. Yeah, it's really cool lighting too. I think they do a good job.
Awesome. Okay, guys, any other questions?
Nope.
Nope. All right. So, as we know, we are midway through February and March is upon us. And everyone knows that there's one event that takes place in March that kind of is, to me, kicks off festival season pre-virus and pandemic. But we've been talking about this one a lot. Ultra sort of kind of hasn't really said much recently.
Yeah,
Until just in the past few days. So, guys, what's going on with Ultra?
They couldn't book the KFC guy again. That's why.
So basically, they're replying to emails saying like, "Stay tuned for more information," but it's a month out and still no new dates, no information on like if you can transfer your ticket to next year or if there's even a refund option this time since the second postponement, which is really stupid. Like if they even want to come back, they need to keep the customers they already have, and at this point I don't think anyone is feeling confident enough to give them any more money.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Just the way they handled everything last year. And I mean, we all have been watching for the past couple of years how poorly and just how much trouble they've been having with just trying to secure a venue and then all of the issues. And I don't see it returning. What do you guys think?
I think that yeah, I feel like they have not handled this. Like this is like textbook example of not how not to like handle PR or like postponements. I do think that the sheer demand that we're going to see for music festivals once the pandemic is over and once people get vaccinated, I think even with any like bad like any goodwill they might have lost now, I think just because of how much people are going to want to go back to music festivals, if Ultra does happen in 2022, it's going to be like a smash hit. It's going to be like nothing ever happened. You're going to either be pissed off of them and still go, or other people that didn't buy tickets are just going to buy tickets to Ultra 2022 and have the time of
For
their
the next
life.
maybe 5 years, I'm gonna go under the fence and not give them any money.
You mean people are going to sneak in?
They can
Hey,
keep
all
my
bets
money.
are off. All bets are gonna be off. I'm telling you, people are gonna be
Love to
desperate,
see
and
this.
we want to we want to rave, we want to dance, you know, we want to experience Miami Music Week. So yeah, so Ultra, I'm sure Ultra will up their security in consideration of that. We'll see.
Is Ultra just canceled in the United States, but still doing all the stuff like Ultra Taiwan and Ultra everywhere else?
Yeah, they're still doing all the other ultras, and they've all been doing very well.
Yeah. So it's like Ultra isn't. It's not like a one like stop music festival where it's like, oh, this is our one event. If it doesn't happen, we're totally like dead. Like they have other events like supporting them. So
Yeah. And they were actually able to have like another event. Didn't Ultra Taiwan happen just recently in the past couple months?
it
And it
did.
was a
It was
complete
pretty.
success.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
looked like yeah, it looked pretty good. So I know we all like all attention's on Ultra Miami because that's their flagship event. But I feel like Ultra is still. I mean, they're still surviving. They're still like kind of keeping things going. And I'm telling you, like 2022, like if you have a music festival, I think you're gonna be good. Like that's just people want to get back there in crowds and like have fun and dance. So I feel pretty good about Ultra 2022. I would personally like if I don't have an Ultra ticket, but if Ultra put up tickets for 2022, I would be 100% comfortable buying one. As crazy as that might sound.
That definitely that
Even with all the
considering
stuff, like that's just how confident I am in Ultra. Not just Ultra, but just in music festivals
Wow.
in general.
Even after all these years of like hiccup, like big
Yeah.
mess up, big
Yeah, so
mess up, big
2019, that
screw
was
up.
the whole fiasco where they moved it to that one venue. Was it Homestead? And then like we saw like people trekking across the bridge. I wasn't there that year. And then
Ultra
last year,
Marathon.
yeah, the Ultra Marathon. I mean, I basically like the last time I was at Ultra was 2018, and that was one of the best freaking weeks of my life. So I have only good. It's like one of those exes that you only have good memories of that ex. Like you weren't there for all the bullshit you
Oh,
Wow.
yeah,
did.
yeah,
my
it was rough.
God.
I only
Yeah,
have
no, no,
good
no.
memories of Ultra,
Come
so
on.
I'll be
Yeah,
happy to take Ultra back.
You
Okay.
would be happy to take Ultra
Funny
back.
Yeah,
relationship.
cause like all the bad
Let's
shit that
talk about
happened, they
your
didn't do it to
relationship.
me. I wasn't part of that. It was other people. So I can get if you have bad like feelings, but I only have good memories. So
But what about the last
Oh.
three kind of like not great? You're willing to get
yeah,
into
cause it
it?
wasn't me. They didn't do it to me. They did it to other people. So like all I'm saying is that Olu only has good memories of
You're like one
Ultra.
of those people
All
that
right,
get
you
like
buy a ticket. If they don't fuck
Okay.
up, then I'll buy a ticket.
Wait, what'd you say, Daniel? If I buy a ticket, then you'll buy a ticket?
No, if you buy a ticket and they don't fuck up, then I'll buy a ticket.
They're not gonna
a
fuck
cat
up. I
doesn't buy
honestly don't think. I think that like in
does not buy
2022, they have to prove themselves. They have to like get themselves back in the
no.
good graces of ravers and people everywhere. So I think they're gonna want to prove themselves. I think that more than anything, they want to have these events. So yeah, I'm all about it.
I
Okay,
honestly think that
let's
if
wait for
Ultra
that.
did sell tickets, I think they would have zero issues with a whole bunch of people showing up. Like, I don't think they're going to have a problem selling out because, especially if they happen 2022, they're like the first festival to happen in the year. So
Yeah.
everybody's going to go and everybody's been cooped up, you know? So,
All they need
and
is a
it's
killer
Florida.
lineup. When does the Ultra
Yeah.
lineup normally come out? Like late, is it November, September?
Yeah.
That's when we usually see the
Usually.
Ultra. Yeah, so all
Remember?
they need is the killer lineup, and people are gonna be there. I mean,
But
trust me.
they've always like, even though I've never like attempted to go to Ultra, they've always had a good lineup. Like there's
Yeah.
always someone on there to see. So I don't think they would have an issue.
Yeah.
Excuse me, but the first festival of 2022 will be Groove Cruise.
Yeah, but that one isn't like it's not on land, so I
I'm
didn't
okay
include
with
that
this.
one. Okay, yeah.
That's where Bernard will
Um,
be.
yeah, oh, I'm gonna be there too. So, but like the first on land event is usually Ultra. So,
Yeah. It all starts
but
with
that,
Ultra, and that's why it was so like shocking to see. It was like a domino effect. Like when we saw Ultra get canceled last year, I think that's when we all knew like, oh shit, like 2020 is going to suck. We saw Coachella fall, we saw EDC Vegas fall, we saw
mhm.
Lollapalooza fall, and it was just like so. Yeah, we need Ultra to like. If I think that's what kind of like you raise a good point. Like we need Ultra to show that we can still do these massive scale festivals
Mhm.
safely. Like Ultra needs to be kind of like I don't want to say use the word pioneer, but they need to like kind of set things up for the other festivals in 2022. So I'm
Yeah,
rooting for Ultra. I'm rooting for that
yeah.
X.
Yeah, that'll be really important. So I mean, we've talked an awful lot about it, and we're probably going to have to cut a lot of our like the rest of the news kind of short, and we'll save it for next week. But one of the Festival Addicts' favorite music festivals to attend is M3F, that usually takes place in Arizona, and they did cancel. They put out their official statement late last week, a couple days ago. So unfortunately, it will not be taking place this year, and they are hoping to everyone can rejoin next year in 2022, which is kind of what everybody has already been predicting. So, but moving on to some of the other events that are being announced. So there's two that I think we can quickly talk about. So Electric Mile, which most of us, I think, on the show or in Festival Addicts have actually attended, which we highly recommend. So if you have not attended Electric Mile, we recommend it. It's really, really cool. But since it's been out for about a month and a half, they've had to reimagine it. So I don't quite know what they did. Has anybody gone since they sent that email out last weekend or the end of last week?
It's far from Seattle.
It's far from
I think
Seattle.
that
Yeah.
it starts tomorrow.
Oh, it
I think
starts tomorrow.
they have a new sound.
Okay. Yeah. So that starts tomorrow, which would be really nice. So if you're trying to go down memory lane, I know we've talked about it on the show a few times. So tickets are available for that. Um, it is cheaper to go earlier in the evening versus later, and definitely during the week versus is cheaper than going later in the week. So that's just our advice. But if anybody goes, let me know. I want to know what it's like and what's changed other than just the soundtrack. All right, and then I don't know if there's too many people on the show right now who's a big fan of Cashmere. I know I am. I'm a huge fan of him, and he has just announced his Park and Rave that will be taking place March 19th, and it'll kind of be his album debut. And I don't think he's ever done like an album except for when he first came out in 2015. I think that was the last time he really kind of debuted his music and stuff. So this will be really exciting. He's been working really hard. So that's March 19th. Yep.
I love Kashmir. Yeah, I
I
would
do
see if
too.
I
Yeah.
can go to that. Like, I would drive from Arizona to California just to see Kashmir.
Rumor has it they're also going to be live streaming it.
Oh, even better. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you can't make it, I think that's what I heard. Now I don't know if that's actually true, but we'll look into it. I don't think tickets are on sale yet.
Olu,
I
come
think it's
through. I'll be down.
Yeah, for Kashmir, yeah, I'm gonna see March
I'll
19th.
fly down. Let's go. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, it's like a month out, so I think I can
Well,
plan that.
hold on now. If you guys are all gonna have a little, I might risk leaving my house. Then I might go to this one myself. So
Well,
we'll see.
you are
Yeah.
protected now, right?
I did. I got my first dose today.
Yeah.
So I have to wait 5
Hey,
weeks.
you're good.
You know what? Me and Bernard were actually talking about this before the show that like we might have like a vaccinated club. Like you know how like to get into like nightclubs you have to be over 21 or something. Like I think the new requirement is like you have to be vaccinated. Like we should all like make a group of people that are just vaccinated. Like when we all eventually get our vaccines and just do stuff together. Like we're the vaccinated crew. You know we can go around and. Nah, I mean, being vaccinated doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to get COVID. So
Right.
let's
Yeah.
not assume that. But yeah, I mean, it'll feel good to just like be in the midst of people who are all vaccinated, and we can just like have fun and like be carefree and not have to worry about stuff. So
Are you kidding? This might be my little celebration after I get over that hurdle of, recovering from the second dose. So it'll be just in time for this.
yeah,
Y'all might see me there
I mean, March
in
19th,
person.
what should we have been doing on March 19th? I think I should have been at Ultra. Like, Ultra is usually that week, like March 19 or 20, 22, 23. Like, all should have been, I should have been at Ultra. Like, but because Ultra is not happening, we have to find other stuff to do, right?
Yeah, Beyond is usually during that weekend too, because I know Ultra and Beyond have kind of coincided sometimes or a few
Yeah.
years. So I would have been at Beyond
Yeah.
in SoCal. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Still freezing in Seattle.
You'd be what, Bernard?
I'd still be freezing and wet in Seattle.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Come down here. The weather's nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that March weather hits different.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful
FYI.
SoCal, yeah.
You everybody thinks they can handle it till you get here. It ain't the same.
I don't think that.
Just
I
ain't the same.
don't think that at all. At all. I don't think I'd handle it. I don't think I'd like it. I think I'm good.
I hate cold for what it's worth. Like I'm
Yeah.
the first person to complain when it gets cold. Like these
I'm
3
wearing
days.
sweaters in the house.
I know. I see your sweater.
Yeah, the weather at one of the days at Love Makers or Heartbreakers, it was starting to get pretty windy and cold. But like I wore sweaters like all 3 days, so I was good. But I'm the first person to like start yelling when it gets cold. So
Yeah, you wouldn't like it here.
Well,
It's cold.
yeah. Well, yeah. Let's all just be thankful that we're not in Texas right now.
oh yeah,
Yeah, let's just be thankful. And to all of our friends and family in Texas, we hope that you guys stay safe and you can stay
Please.
warm. You can, if you don't have electricity, you can make a terracotta pot heater, with a pot, some bricks, and some candles, so that way you could at least have some heat and not be cold.
Well, it wouldn't have been so cold if they would have just stayed inside.
I don't
Yeah.
feel bad.
Yeah. All right, guys, we are coming up on time right now. Is there anything else that we need to discuss?
I miss you.
I know we miss you too, Bernard.
He's lying. He misses the warm.
I think it was like 70 today.
You
was
guys
nice.
are in the warm, so therefore I miss you. So
Oh, Bernard, how much snow do you guys have up there right now?
it's melted already.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it was enough where I didn't want to leave the house. So
Oh, okay.
That's hilarious. I really can't believe you live there.
me neither right now.
yeah, snow is a no go.
2 more years. 2 more years max.
That's so
man.
funny. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and tell everyone where we can find you on social media while we close out our show. So we'll start with you, Precious.
It's Precious_star_Moreno. Super simple.
And Daniela.
I'm at DannyLove22492.
And Bossman.
I'm at Not Your Mocha Princess on Instagram.
Really? Do I need to change this to your title?
No. We'll figure it out. I'll probably go pick up Not Your Mocha Princess. So just because.
Yeah, you better pick that up before someone else does. I feel like someone's about to snatch that up. Either you or Monique. You guys better
I want
like
to wear a
pick that
sash
up.
that says Not Your Mocha Princess now.
Do it. Groove Cruise.
Okay, I
Yeah.
guess you can do that. All right, Mr. Producer.
You can find me at OluBPM on Instagram, and make sure to like if you want to see like my latest photos like from this event that just passed, make sure you check that out. And also check it out on our photo album on Facebook too.
Oh yeah, I was definitely gonna say make sure you mention that. So I'm your Mocha Princess on Facebook, not Facebook, on Instagram. And yeah, like Olu just said, make sure you check out our Facebook page. You guys are kind of already here. So go ahead and check out our most recent album and look at all of the really cool photos that are there, and check out all of our other socials. We have them here around the border. We hope everyone has a good evening, a nice, safe week, and a good weekend. And thank you guys all for being on the show. And we'll see everybody next Tuesday.
Thank you for watching,
Bye.
everyone. Bye. See you here next week.
Bye.
All right. Great show, everyone.